Raven. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a very good day. We're going to do a little PvP, but I wanted to do a stream and propose the question, what are your thoughts with the current state of ESO? Because I like Elder Scrolls Online. There's a lot of things that I do enjoy about this game, and especially the Battlegrounds. I do like the Siege. I do like that players, have different ways of playing Elder Scrolls Online. It's unfortunate, though, because a lot of streamers struggle with just the base content. And what I mean by base content, I mean the overland content and how, players can enjoy that. That doesn't really attract a lot of viewers. So one of the major concerns for me is just the raw element of, let me pull this up, the raw element of what's going on in the current state of ESO. Yo, Chrissy, what's up? Jack, what's up? How's Ozzy? The thing is, I wish more games would implement the PvP, because there's very few games that have really competitive PvP. Fortnite still is up there, World of Warcraft, obviously, and Elder Scrolls could be a very strong competitor, because of its, how much PvP it's implemented into the game. But once again, we have a lot of, concerns when it comes to how it's executed. And, that to me is one of the major things that I'm taking, I take a look at. Okay. Oh shit. Oh no, no, no. Come on, drop, bitch. Oh shit. That's gonna cost me. Oh, nice! That was a nice one. Nothing I can do. Ah! My teammate's a fucking idiot. He's not even seeing the two. Oh my god. Got to get together, man. Nice team up, though. That was a nice gap closer. Can't hate on that. No, oh shit. What the hell are these guys doing? We're gonna... That's gonna cost me. Ow! There's always one. Green got the flank. Good turnaround. You have to like stay there. There's one player that's just completely oblivious to what's going on. This is another thing. Separation. Divide and conquer type shit. Oh shit balls. They're chasing. Green's staying really good, tight. Trying to prevent as much turn as stay tight. Black, dude, what's up? Oh shit. That's bad. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. No! Divide and conquer. That's how you do it. Let's go. My team seems to be a little spread. Green coming on the flank. Yep. There's the flank. Regroup. Try to pull one or two away. Yep. Always try to lead them out. That's how you win. All right. Oh. Smart move by Green. Nice! That's what I'm talking about. Second place. Smoke coming in on a lot of the kills. 725,000 damage. Not bad for a rusty old man, right? Not bad for a rusty old... third. I came in third. So, yeah, not bad. I'm still whatever. You know, I'm happy about it. I'm happy. You know. Good shit. Good shit. Let me check out the comments here. What's up, too? Todd, what's up, what's up, what's up? You haven't played ECO in ages, as I know. I go through the content and then I'm like, oh my god. I want them to get PvP. 2 years since I subscribed to you all. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support, Jack. Just waiting for SOTOR servers to come back online for the new patch. Yeah, a lot of changes coming in for that game. Current thoughts on ESO? Well, I'm bored with it, and I'm taking an extended break, but it's nice to see Mystic back at it. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate that. I agree, Todd. I'm bored with ESO. We'll go back to the new DLC, but I've been playing Star Trek Online. Nice. A-Bomb. What's new PS4 patch? The PS4 patch, I think, comes out next week, if I'm not mistaken. March 10th, right. Comes out next week. That's... it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of, things to take into consideration. 560,000 damage, not bad. Like I said, I mean, I'm old, I'm a little rusty and old, but good gameplay. Black, by the way, enjoyed playing with you against you in that last match. Some really good stuff. But once again, I do like group PvP. I do like, you know, the what fundamentally ESO has to offer. I think Elder Scrolls Online fundamentally is a strong sound game. The problem of it is, once again, we keep reverting back to the same problems that's making it, I think, boring. I think it is becoming, you know, a little stagnant because, like I've once again, I've integrated this. Incentive is key. Getting things that should have been addressed about a year ago are still being unattended to. And I think that's why we're looking at the current state of Elder Scrolls the way it is. I'm not saying that Elder Scrolls, like every game's perfect. No game is. Every game has issues. But I do worry. I do have those concerns. Like same thing with DCUO. I love the PvE content in DC. I love raiding in DC. Love it. I love the arc, the story arc. I love the different directions of the game. The combat in DCUO to this day is still one of the best Twitch-based combats I've ever gotten to play. But unfortunately, the PvP, there's nothing to do in between content. And I keep telling companies, you have to have filler content. Same thing with Final Fantasy XIV. One of my most beloved games in PvE. Hands down, one of the best PvE games in the market. If you want a good story, you want really amazing graphics, and you want very unique job system, Final Fantasy XIV has it. Beautiful cutscenes, everything. The problem with Final Fantasy XIV, once again, is just the PvP is lackluster in comparison to its competitors. It has it, it's there, but it doesn't, you know, fulfill that desire. So you have players who play in, you know, sequences. They can't do it on an everyday and sustain what they're trying to do unless you're playing jobs or crafting, which crafting has its issues as well. I think crafting in every game has issues, and Elder Scrolls has gotten away from its crafting as well. Elder Scrolls Online crafting system is by far one of my most favorite crafting systems, but unfortunately it's becoming very, you know, less to be desired. I like Final Fantasy XI better than Final Fantasy XIV. Well, yeah, I think everybody has a preference. And Final Fantasy XI has definitely survived. And, you know, there's a lot of things that they're still doing with Final Fantasy XI. So the game's not dead. But, you know, Final Fantasy XIV to me, I didn't like Final Fantasy XI when I tried it. It wasn't my type of game. So, as an MMO. And then when I went to Final Fantasy XIV, I never, up until last year, I never tried Final Fantasy XIV prior because I had this, you know, this preconceived notion of it being just a predecessor with a different storyline in comparison to Final Fantasy XI. And some of the combat is similar, but once again, I feel like the execution is different. And I was pleasantly surprised with Final Fantasy XIV more than I anticipated. So, like World of Warcraft, I loved World of Warcraft in so many ways, but I could never support Blizzard as a company again. You know, they've gotten to the Activision Blizzard to me is the epitome of what gamers don't want from their companies, as far as nickel and diming them. Their moral ethics to their employees, all sorts of like tax havens, all sorts of greed mongering is what's going on in Activision Blizzard. And because of that, me as a player, I cannot support a company without integrity. You know, that's something personally for me. Should try Final Fantasy XI again. A lot has changed and it's fun, and it would be a new MMO for your channel. Yeah, I agree. The problem of it is a lot of players. Well, and here's the thing: for a gamer like me, I could get into Final Fantasy XI and play content and expose Final Fantasy 11. The problem of it is, it's, you know, because of the level cap, I don't think a lot of players would want to get into a game that old and try to play catch up, you know, because it would be a little daunting, you know, for majority of newer players. I think they need to implement what they did in Final Fantasy 14 to encourage new players to join Final Fantasy 11, because if they were to do that, it would be easier to get through the levels, and I think that would be a boon to the Final Fantasy 11 community. It's my opinion, but, you know, I mean, that's why you always see games like World of Warcraft and stuff, they sell those coins, those level coins, and Final Fantasy 11 has that as well. I mean, same thing with Final Fantasy 14, they have it as well too. But, you know, I try to discourage, I like players to enjoy the content, and especially when you're leveling your first character. And Final Fantasy 14 does promote that, you know, that experience. Like, it's always suggested, do not skip the content. That when you buy Final Fantasy 14, you're playing the content. You're enjoying the story in the character development when you play Final Fantasy 14. That's one of the boons to the game. And it's not as bad as most players would think. In about 2 weeks, you can get through, depending on how many hours you can dedicate, you can get through a lot of it within 2 weeks. Elder Scrolls Online is an open-ended game. So, Final ESO, you can decide how you're going to progress your character. And the lore is present within each area of, you know, Tamriel. The problem with Elder Scrolls, once again, isn't, you know, the design of the game itself or the content. It's the delivery, in which, you know, when you come to a certain point in your progression, because it was designed as an open-ended system, they've now, you know, implemented linear elements, which now gives the players lack of, you know, diversity. There's not as much diversity as Elder Scrolls once promoted. And because of that, players aren't, you know, trying new things or new setups or new configurations. That's what kept players engaged in Elder Scrolls, trying to figure out something that met what they were trying to achieve within that play style and play the content. Unfortunately, they've, you know, bended to the demands of the meta players, and now we have this scenario in this game that is going to be hard, not impossible, but hard to gain control back into what Elder Scrolls initially was designed to do. So, unfortunately, it's just cause and effect. It's, you know, but, you know, I feel like a lot of people can, you know, give their input. What do they think about the current state? Final Fantasy 11 and 14 had great stories, yeah. Let's play some DAOC again for Midgar, Nords for the win, yeah. DAOC, you know, one of the things about DAOC was one of my first favorite sieges. You know, it wasn't like, you know, it really brought the impact of storming the keeps, right? And when you see the reflection of that game in Elder Scrolls because of Matt, you know, and I feel like, once again, Elder Scrolls reminds me a lot of DAOC. It really does. It has that feeling, but once again, we're in the land of Tamriel, not Midgard, and you know, the lore behind the Dark Age of Camelot, it definitely, well, I felt like the execution was similar, but once again, I mean, we take a look at that DAOC still kept true to its origins of what it's designed to do. And I just feel like, once again, you know, you can't please everybody. So why did ZOS try to please one group and, you know, turn their backs on the masses? And now I think that's a telltale sign of what's happening. And unfortunately, you know, you try to, like, meet the demands of World of Warcraft, and during that, you know, whole also WoW Refugee. Because think about that. During, you know, when we saw Perfected Gear come into play was just months prior to, you know, the whole downfall of what was going on in World of Warcraft. So that, you know, gave, you know, World of Warcraft players a linear, you know, perception of this game. Unfortunately, this game is not designed linear. Nice. Yeah, I'll take this time. Once again, Wardens. I'm going to separate myself. Gotta love the Sorks and their finishers. Haunting Curse. Thought I would have had it cleansed, but obviously not. You got to watch out for the Wardens, man. You have to. The Wardens, remember about Wardens. Wardens have very strong AoEs. The first thing, dude went in there, ran in there. Look, already, separation. Do I got a stalker? What the fuck graphically? Oh, it's a... Once again, divide and conquer. We're going to lose. I'll tell you that. What? Looky. Two on the opposite ends. You can't change what's going on. You know, fundamentally, the team that stays together has the advantage. No, a bar swap! Oh my god. I mean, we're on the board. Once again, look at my map, look at my teammates. You divide and conquer. If you're going to be a PvPer, you need, and especially a Battleground PvPer, you need to understand unity. You got to understand spacing. It's not about individual players. Your KDA is nothing if on the weakest link. Oh my god, what? AoE hell. Get out of the AoEs. Green's gonna flip that, or purple will. AoEs, fuck! All that stacked AoE. Number one for my team, and like, I have no kills. AoEs are still kind of a problem, especially if you get rooted. You know, if you get rooted, you're kind of fucked. I'll be honest. Once again, look. Always one person, and I'll bet you it's a blade. I gotta get away from that. I gotta cleanse. There's my teammates dead. You cannot separate. Oh my god. Noobs. 810 and noobs. And why are you resin? That's a big noob sign. I'm a noob. Just, that's an announcement. Look at all those AoEs. AoEs for days. You know what I can do when I got all two colors fucking chasing me. God, they suck so bad. Let's see. Blade? Yes, yes, and yes. Always. God, I'm so good. I'm so fucking good. I'm so fucking good. It's always an idiot. It's usually a blade. Oh, you can stay close to your... God, AoE hell. I'm telling you, that blade is going to be always dead last. He's always going to be dead last. The weakest link, man. I'm always telling you guys. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And there's proof in the pudding. There is proof in the pudding. You can be the best player, walk out with the best KDA. You have a player who does not know what the fuck they're doing, your team will suffer. Once again, divide. Look, you got to be careful how you do things. AoEs, Haunting Curse, executes. Come on, I hit that. Purple, looky. Staying together, keeping conformed. Very good execution. Once again, you cannot afford to deviate. And my team did that. Over, and this little blade is a suck ass. Just let him get the kill to win. Good job, Purple. Really, really good job. Sork is really good. Once again, shield stacking. We've gone over all of this. Once again, some of the problems. Everybody's like, oh, shields are critical. It doesn't even matter. Shield stacking diverts. There's never been, you know, it's the damage is absorbed. Like, basically, the shield could do absorb 3,000, 4,000 is dealt that. There's no 1,000 that's going to be applied to that player. It does not do it. It'll divert all of it. And that's why shield stacking is bugged in this game. You don't shield stack in MMOs. That's a big fat no-no. If you shield stack in MMOs, you cause yourself a huge problem. Because now you're just diverting all of the damage. You're mitigating all of it. If you can maintain shields and the shield cycle doesn't drop, you're resetting it, there's no flood over. There's, you know, that's just unfortunate, but it's the truth. Got the damn hiccups. Oh, I'm sorry, Chrissy. KDA only matters in team deathmatch. That's the win, though. I mean, KDA is good. You know, have you seen BDO Shadow Arena? I did. I thought they took Shadow Arena out, though, Scott. I wasn't sure. They need to separate PvE and PvP better as nerfs. Yeah, I totally do. But you can crit shields. But shield crit doesn't matter. Because if there's no damage that's flooded over, is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's critical now. Great. Excellent. But it's still broke. The system's broke. I've been testing for MMOs for 20 years. For 20 years. Elder Scrolls has been the only game that's had the balls to do it because of the way the shield mitigation's always been a problem. Shield mitigation in most MMOs have the same problem. That, okay, they're 3,000 supposed to absorb, an effect hits you for 4, there's no additional damage that's flooded over the player. That's why shields always had a duration, or a you know, you couldn't recast shields, you know, you couldn't spam them. This is the first game that's had the balls to do it, and it's problematic. And once again, I was like, and then you add the shield stack, which resets it and it bugs it up. And I hate to say it, Matt should have known better with his experience. I mean, maybe Rich not so much, but Matt should have known that. You know, Matt should have known the way the coding works. It doesn't ever flood over, right? So to implement a shield system on that proportion was just ignorant. It was, you know, it was ignorant. Orin Morning Man, Shadow Arena is going to separate game, I hear. It should, you know, hopefully. A Black Desert Shadow Arena, I got to test it. I streamed it during test, but then they took it out. And Shadow Arena was really fun. Not balanced, but fun. Really fun. It's a you know, a battle royale. You are right. It used to be in BDO. I think they are making it standalone. Oh, got you. Yeah, I tested it. I was one of the people brought in on testing for it, and I enjoyed it. I typically don't like battle royale, but it was a really good you know, game, you know, gameplay for sure. But no, you know, one of the things, like I said, when I first came to Elder Scrolls and I PvP'd, one of the first things that me and another friend of mine who was a tester noticed the same thing. He's like, did you notice they like stacked shields in this game with no cooldown? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And he's like, what were they? I was like, you know, I mean, I think it's a little, it's, you know, I agree. Like PvE though, I mean, unfortunately the way the game's designed, I think the PvE element of it, it's relevant to the way the PvP's been, PvE's been implemented. Look at this motherfucker.
They've captured the point.
Oh, my food wore off too. Shit. Oh boy, which way, which way? Green's kind of hemmed up over there a little bit. Oh, no, 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 wrong button. Warden. Got me with that ulti. It's gonna be hard. Nice thing is, like, I can use the line of sight. Ah! And red came in. I'm trying to, like, why did my teammates come to the... What the... If you see the conflict, void it. Well, it's one thing when you had one or two, but don't... Oh my god. I swear. Avoid the conflicts. Avoid. On caps. Oh my god. On any Dom game you try to avoid, minimize conflict as much as possible. Noobs. Still playing with noobs. Years later. Jeez, Mateezas. Avoid as much as possible. Friends in the back. Good timing. All of them's on me. Good cover. 1 second. Sorry, I had to take that for a second. Green's doing a good job. Good cover. Unnecessary conflict. Just unnecessary. That's all it was. Good cover by Green. Pit Demons. Good job. Very, very good job. Can't, like, fundamentals, man. Green playing fundamentally strong. Pulls out the dub, and they get it. See, that's what's going to kill that blade. God, I love it. I love it when I get hit with an ulti. GG. GG, 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 GG. Oh, no, it wasn't ulti, it was shield bash, wasn't it? I think I got hit with the shield bash. Anyways, I just feel like the game's solid, combat's solid. Just fundamentals, like no diversity into the armor, the setups. It's been taken away. I agree, PvE and PvP should be separated. I totally agree with that. I feel like there needs to be incentive on both ends to encourage content play. I feel some of the base mechanics still haven't been addressed. Now we're looking at PC performance being an issue with this last update, and will that trickle onto the consoles? That's yet to be seen. But overall, the game is beautiful. The combat's amazing. The lore is stunning. And if you're, like I always told my man, if you're a Elder Scrolls player or just a fan of Elder Scrolls, this can be a standalone game. And it'd be good for that. It's good for that. It really is. Unfortunately, when we're taking a look at, what you're planning on doing to occupy your time as a player, it's starting to get its separation to the point where players are now questioning what is there to do for me in Elder Scrolls, and especially long-term players, because you can PvP, but everybody's got same setups and configurations, and there's the same system that there's little reward to PvPing, or like I said, there's ways to do it, and they need to separate that. They need to incentivize, and I think once they do that, they'll get back to what Elder Scrolls was. Is Elder Scrolls going to ever be perfect? No, never. No game is. Like I said, Final Fantasy XIV, love the game, but the PvP is less to be desired than the PvE content. DCUO, I love the PvE, but no PvP. There are when I take a look at the games, I'm looking at me as an overall player, and what I'm trying to determine is what I'm trying to put in. I don't care about fluff. I'm like, why do I want to play the content? What's keeping me, like, I would love to go back and just play PvE, play the dungeons, check out the gear configurations, set up something different. That's me as a player. That's who I am. I like Trials, but I don't like to be set in one direction to say for a game like this, because there's so many sets. In World of Warcraft, it works because of the token system. You get your A gear to get your B gear to move to your C gear, right? It's linear. It is designed to be linear. But now we have a chapter that doesn't meet the demands of the predecessor. The predecessor is still the dominant factor when we take a look at Scoria and Reliqueen. So what did Somerset bring us? Necro? That's it. The content was less to be desired. It failed in execution. Why? Because you put a linear system, prior. Or elsewhere. Sorry, Somerset. Somerset was better than Elsewhere. Elsewhere just didn't execute. Sorry, it was Elsewhere. And that's why I can't do Elsewhere. It's like, okay, so I'll get the Necro. What's after that? Why am I doing the Overland? Why am I doing any of the content? Why? Yeah, to see dragons? Cool. I get nothing out of it. Maybe skins if you want skins. Or a title. But the gear doesn't do me any good. I don't get to do, I'm picking up gear that I'm not going to use. So what's the incentive? Why do I want to continue this? Let's say you get the skin in the first run. I haven't done it. I don't care about fluff. But let's say you're after it and you get it the first run. Why are you going to do it again? What's keeping you going back into that content? It's gear. It's supposed to be gear. It's supposed to be why you're going in there. You're wanting something out of that dungeon that you can obtain, that you can utilize. And unfortunately, it's not really, relevant. So it's like, Let me check out the comments and I'll call it. You're right. It used to be in BDO. Elsewhere was a great overland zone and the story was good. I agree. Yeah, I know. I agree. There's always good stories, but what's incentivizing? We got to think players are wanting to incentivize. Like Final Fantasy 14, I love the game, but do I really want to play through the story arc again? No. I played it the first time. I enjoyed it. And if I want to go back and do it, I can. But do I want to? Absolutely not. So that is the same thing. There's no incentive for me to do so. And they have to think about that. And especially in a game built for open-ended system. No point in putting gear. You might as well just take the gear out of all the dungeons and say, hey, you know what? We'll give you a currency to get the top gear because we really don't have anything in here that you want. So yeah, might as well. So there's always, when you do anything in life, I don't care what you do in life, game, work, education, you're doing it for a reason. There's a purpose behind what motivates you to pursue that. Without motivation, there is no pursuit. So you need motivation to pursue those goals. Okay? And this game has fell far from that. And that's the facts. And it's unfortunate, but we can't argue it.
Prices have never been better.
Check this and I gotta go. Other than that, farm dragons to get material to make food. Right. Yeah, good point. You got a good point there. Anyways, man, I gotta let you guys go. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Thank you for the continued support. I love this game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. I'm just saying some things do have to change to improve the state of the game. Okay? So once again, I'm Mysticraven. This is Mystics MMOs. As always, thank you. And have a nice day.